Have you ever wondered where it all began for Italy, the land of the Romans, the birthplace of the Renaissance? Our story begins thousands of years ago, in a time when the Italian peninsula was a mosaic of cultures and civilizations. Two key players in this early history were the Etruscans and the Greeks, both of whom left indelible marks on the culture and development of Italy. The Etruscans, hailing from the region we now know as Tuscany, were a vibrant and enigmatic civilization. Their influence on Italy is undeniable. They were skilled metalworkers, and introduced the alphabet to the Italian peninsula. Their society, sophisticated and complex, had a great impact on the Romans, who borrowed heavily from their architecture, religion, and even their social structures. Meanwhile, in the southern part of the peninsula and Sicily, the Greeks were making their own mark. They founded colonies, such as Naples and Syracuse, and brought with them their knowledge, their arts, and their gods. The Greek influence on Italy is particularly evident in the realms of philosophy, science, and art. It's no exaggeration to say that the Greeks laid the groundwork for the Renaissance. But as influential as these early civilizations were, it was the rise of Rome in the 6th century BC that truly set the course for Italy's future. Rome began as a small city-state governed by kings, but after overthrowing their monarch, the Romans established a republic, a novel concept at the time. This republic, driven by ambition, strategy, and a little bit of luck, expanded rapidly across the peninsula, gradually absorbing the Etruscan and Greek territories. This was not just a military conquest, but a cultural one as well. The Romans adopted, adapted, and integrated the best of Etruscan and Greek culture into their own, creating a unique blend that would define Italian culture for centuries to come. And so, the stage was set for the rise of one of history's greatest empires, the Roman Empire. From a small city-state, Rome grew into a colossal empire. But how did it meet its end? This question has perplexed historians for centuries. The Roman Empire, an entity that once sprawled from the sun-baked sands of Africa to the foggy forests of Britain, was a marvel of governance and expansion. The Pax Romana, a period of relative peace and stability, allowed Rome to flourish like never before. For over 200 years, from the reign of Augustus to the death of Marcus Aurelius, the empire experienced a golden era of prosperity. This peace wasn't merely a cessation of conflict, but a catalyst for cultural, architectural, and political advancements that would shape the course of Western civilization. One of Rome's defining architectural feats was the construction of the Colosseum, a testament to both Roman engineering prowess and a symbol of the empire's might. This grand amphitheater, built to entertain the masses with games and spectacles, remains a globally recognized icon of the Roman Empire. But even the most formidable empires are not immune to decline. The fall of the Roman Empire in the 5th century AD was the result of a complex tapestry of factors. Internal strife, economic instability, over-reliance on slave labor, and the mounting pressure of invasions all contributed to its downfall. The empire, once a beacon of order and power, was gradually fragmented and overrun by Germanic tribes. The fall of Rome was not an overnight event, but a slow, agonizing process that took place over centuries. This gradual deterioration culminated in the year 476, when the last Roman emperor, Romulus Augustus, was overthrown by the Germanic king Odoacer. The collapse of the Roman Empire marked a seismic shift in the world order. It was the end of ancient history and the dawn of a new era. An era of transition, transformation, and turmoil that would come to be known as the Middle Ages. The fall of Rome marked the end of ancient history and the beginning of a new era, the Middle Ages. The Middle Ages in Italy, a time of turmoil or a foundation for a cultural rebirth? This period was marked by the fall of the Western Roman Empire and the subsequent rule by the Byzantines and Lombards. The Byzantine Empire, with its center in the east, maintained control over parts of Italy, infusing the region with Eastern influences. The Lombards, a Germanic people, established a kingdom in Italy, further diversifying the cultural landscape. Italy's political structure during the Middle Ages was unique. Unlike the centralized monarchies forming in the rest of Europe, Italy was a patchwork of city-states. Each city was a world unto itself, with its own government, culture, and even dialect. These city-states, often at odds with one another, were the birthplaces of banking, international trade, and the concept of citizenship. The Papal States also came into being during this time, a unique political entity ruled by the Pope. From Rome, the Pope wielded not only spiritual authority, but also temporal power. This dual role would lead to a power struggle with the Holy Roman Emperor, a tension that would define much of Italy's Middle Ages. In the midst of this political turmoil, the seeds of the Renaissance were being sown. The rise of the merchant republics, notably Venice and Genoa, brought wealth and a new social class, the bourgeoisie. These self-made merchants and bankers, rich and influential, would come to patronize the arts and sciences, setting the stage for the cultural explosion to come. Education and intellectual pursuits were becoming increasingly valued, with universities established in cities like Bologna and Naples. The works of ancient Greek and Roman scholars were being rediscovered and translated, sparking a renewed interest in humanism, science, and the arts. As the Middle Ages faded, Italy was on the cusp of a rebirth, an era that would change the world forever, the Renaissance. From the turmoil and fragmentation of the Middle Ages, Italy emerged as a cradle of innovation, a beacon of culture and learning that would illuminate the world. What does the rebirth of art, culture, and humanism lead to in the history of Italy? This is the question that frames our journey from the Renaissance to the unification of Italy. The Italian Renaissance, a period stretching from the 14th to the 17th century, was a time of great intellectual growth and cultural achievement. It was a period when artists like Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo challenged the norms and pushed the boundaries of what was possible in art. Their masterpieces not only reshaped the art world, but also left an indelible mark on the cultural fabric of Italy. But the Renaissance was not just about art. The invention of the printing press in the mid-15th century, for instance, revolutionized the dissemination of knowledge. This technology democratized learning, providing the masses with access to books and literature that had previously been the exclusive domain of the elites. The ripple effects of this invention were felt in every corner of Italian society, fueling an explosion of scientific discovery and humanistic thought. As the centuries rolled on, the spirit of the Renaissance slowly gave way to the Enlightenment and the Age of Reason. However, the seeds of change that had been sown during the Renaissance continued to bear fruit. The intellectual and cultural shifts of this period set the stage for the Risorgimento, the resurgence, a political and social movement that eventually led to the unification of Italy in the 19th century. The Risorgimento was a turbulent period, marked by revolts, wars, and the quest for national identity. But after decades of struggle, the disparate kingdoms, duchies, and city-states on the Italian peninsula were finally united under one flag in 1861. This was a turning point in the history of Italy, a moment that marked the end of centuries of division and the beginning of a new era. The unification of Italy in 1861 marked the beginning of a new chapter in its history, the modern era. From the intellectual flourishing of the Renaissance to the political upheaval of the Risorgimento, Italy's journey to unification was a fascinating blend of art, science, culture, and politics. From a unified kingdom to a vibrant republic, how has modern Italy evolved? Our journey into modern Italy starts in the late 19th century, after the unification of the kingdom. This was a period of great change, as Italy sought to establish itself on the global stage. However, this period wasn't without strife. Two world wars loomed on the horizon, and Italy found itself in the midst of these global conflicts. World War I left Italy with deep social and economic scars. The nation was ripe for change, and it came in the form of Benito Mussolini. His rise to power in the 1920s saw the introduction of fascism, an ideology that would leave a lasting mark on Italy. Mussolini's rule was marked by strict control over the economy, political repression, and territorial expansion. However, Mussolini's reign was not to last. The tide of World War II turned against the Axis powers, and Italy found itself on the losing side. Mussolini was overthrown, and Italy surrendered to the Allies. This marked the end of fascism and the start of a new chapter in Italy's history. The post-war period was a time of profound transformation. The Italian constitution was established, marking the birth of the Italian Republic. This new government was a stark departure from the fascist regime, promoting democratic principles and individual freedoms. In the wake of World War II, Italy experienced an economic miracle. Industries flourished, cities were rebuilt, and the standard of living rose dramatically. This period of rapid growth propelled Italy into the ranks of the world's largest economies. In the latter half of the 20th century, Italy took on an increasingly important role in the European Union. It became a founding member of the EU, contributing to the development of shared policies and economic integration. Today, Italy is a vibrant republic, known for its rich culture, exquisite cuisine, and iconic landmarks. Its history is a tapestry of triumph and tribulation, a story of resilience and reinvention. And here we are in the present day with Italy standing as a testament to a rich and diverse history that continues to shape it.